Hey, happy holidays, everybody!
Ho, ho, ho.
Episode 111 of Hooligan Pitch.
Make a wish.
Ho, ho, ho. Sorry, my cat was being weird over there for a second, but yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Can't believe we're here.
We're here. We've made it through most of the crazy festive period. Still a little bit to come. But it's been I don't know, it's been a interesting festive period, I think I can say from a Arsenal perspective. But
Yep. I could say from a Liverpool perspective, not losing in the last 6 games is a big deal for us. So that makes me pretty happy. And I feel like now, at this point in the season, we did say December would be a critical month. We're seeing some space, kind of some spacing starting to drift from top to bottom. You're seeing who's going to linger in the top 8. You see who's going to linger in the bottom 8. And I feel like now is kind of the time when the mid-table teams are going to start to sell off a little bit. I think they know who they are at this point, and I think the lingerers in the top 8 now have to just hold on to their position, while the relegation battle is basically, I don't want to say set in stone, but like if you're not in the last 3, you're probably okay. That's how bad these bottom 3 are now becoming, which is just insane. We're already at that point again.
yeah, it's certainly looking that way. I mean, there was that small sliver of hope for West Ham when Nuno came in, but I don't think he's I don't think it's necessarily a him issue. I think the pieces he has are not they're not working out.
Yeah. The bottom of the table is just so bad. To keep it festive, Chad, I am doing cookies and milk.
Cookies and milk.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just feeling it.
All right. I still got the eggnog. I should have brought a cookie, but keeping it holiday, you know.
I'm gonna have one bite for the pod.
Mm-hmm. Homemade cookie.
Mm-hmm. Brown butter, chocolate chip.
Absolutely nice.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Can I start?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, let's talk about it. This game, Chad. This game. Where to even begin? I think let's just go in with, first game since AFCON started. No Mo Salah guaranteed. So it was I don't know. I don't want to say it was like a blessing that this team could have put the people out there and not feel like pressured from Salah on the bench, asking why he isn't starting. I personally really like the starting 11 we had out there. I think there is some chemistry forming between Milos and Wirtz. And Kirk has said, I like playing with Wirtz. He passes me the ball, unlike Gakpo, who's always cutting in. So that relationship right there on the left has made it easier, I think, for Kirkes to show what he can do. Because, let's be honest, his first half of the season has been pretty bad. To the point where Robertson has come in and kind of like saved him in like this every other game situation they're doing now, which I still don't mind. I think we should continue doing that. But now this partnership now of Wirtz is looking good. Like, I like the way they were both playing off each other. I like when Kirkus was running down the wing and kind of doing an overlapping run with him. Wirtz got his first assist in this game. There's a lot of good things that happened in this game that we can build off of, I think. And when Mo comes back, integrating him in might not be as difficult as when the season started, because now Slot can kind of play around with this a little bit and see, like, there's no pressure to get Salah in. So let's experiment a little. And then, of course, we have the Isak injury, which we'll go into depth with. Like, that almost gives Ekitike the you're the man now. You're the number 9. This is your season to control. So yeah, again, a lot of positives, but we'll take it back a step. That first half, I felt like both teams were trying to go a little too fast Wasn't super organized. It wasn't the prettiest of football I've ever seen Liverpool play. And then out of nowhere, Siemens just decides to calf scratch Virgil for just no apparent reason. There was no reason for him to do that, and he instantly knew it. He was like I didn't mean to do that, but that's the problem. You did it, and now you got to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, it was one of those like, I know I'm late to this challenge, but I'm just gonna like leave something on you, and it just happened to be worse than he intended it to, but he 100% meant to make contact.
Yeah. And you know, people are questioning like, well, he didn't do that on purpose. There's no way he would have injured his, you know, international captain. It's like, of course not. I don't think he meant to do any of that, but it was an accident, and he had to suffer the consequence. And I thought when the yellow initially came out, I was like, okay, that's fair. And then you slowed it down. I was like, oh no. I was like, that was pretty bad. And so that was one of those situations where I think the slow motion made it far worse than what it was.
I'd agree, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd still say it's a red card.
I would too. Having the sock get ripped too on Virgil kind of just showed like, wow, there was some force on that thing, and his spikes were up. And then we look at the Tottenham subreddit, and it was like a full meltdown of how there's no way that's a red card, and Liverpool has done this in the past too and not received a red card. It's like, okay, while that might be true, we still should have at least, like, you know, we call for a non-biased game. We want everything to be standardized and consistent. Well, it's like, this is pretty textbook. Like, you can't do that. This is a red card. So I don't know why I won't say everyone, most on the subreddit were up in arms about it. I thought it was very silly thing to argue over.
Yeah. Like I've said before, I pop into their subreddit just to kind of see the other side. And I was kind of surprised to see how many people were upset that this was a red. I could understand them being disappointed that, you know, Simmons did this and got sent off and maybe ruined their chances at you know, competing at a higher level in the game. But so many other comments were like specifically like, that is not a red card challenge. And while it's certainly not the absolute worst we've seen, it's high enough and studs up and late. It's not. There was no malicious intent, but it was just one of those like reckless challenges where pre-VAR, I think you probably get away with it. But you're in the VAR era now, so you know everything will be slowed down and scrutinized. And I think like for the ref, I think yellow is kind of the ref like safety net when they're not sure, because they know VAR is going to review it, so at least like give the yellow and then they can double check it. And they'd rather, I guess, be wrong and hand out the more severe action than like take that step back of like, sorry, it wasn't a red. So I get that, but I mean, yeah, I'd say, you know, Tottenham looked like they wanted to play, which is good considering their home form this season. But I'd agree too. Liverpool is like wanted to play, but I think both teams are just a little like frantic or disorganized in that first half, and it just felt like both teams wanted that kind of like quick back and forth, but it just was not really clicking on either side. And then
it's a little sloppy.
Of course, the red card throws a wrench into it too. But I think well deserved. Just is what it is. You know, it's a game you wanted to play of being more physical, and that's the risk that runs with that.
It was unexpected. That just came out of nowhere. Yeah. And then, Liverpool really didn't have it going. And then second half starts. And Isak comes in. I'm like, cool, awesome. Let's bring him in early. Let's see what he can get going. Yeah. Look good. Great pass by Verts to get him in there. And amazing goal. Just happened to break his leg in the process, which is just crazy that is now something we're dealing with. People are calling for that tackle. And the fact that there wasn't a card involved. I saw a lot of red card
Mhm.
possibilities there, and like I don't know, was it a dangerous tackle? I guess in the end, yes. But if Isak gets up and there's no injury, like we're not even thinking twice about that. He slid for the ball. The problem though is he kind of scissored his legs. He didn't scissor kick him, but his foot got caught in between his feet. Or Isak's foot got caught in between. It was Van de Ven's like thighs, which caused it to twist and then unfortunately break. I don't think that was red card worthy. Yellow card, I think for sure, right? Because he missed the ball, didn't get the ball, and took him out in the process. For it to be a red, though, is extremely harsh, considering there was a goal scored. Just weird. It was just a weird scenario and super unfortunate.
Absolutely.
Totally sucks. Isak's now out. This is like turning into the worst possible signing potentially ever. Right? It's gonna if he doesn't come back from this one and play, 80% of what he's capable of, this is a big yikes. It's a big yikes.
Yeah. I feel for the guy. I feel like he's like there's always been talk that he's injury prone, and I think he is to a certain extent, but I feel like so often it's these little things that are just like wrong place, wrong time sort of thing. It's not that he's overworking himself or putting himself in a stupid situation. Like this is the opportunity you want, right? And a pretty clear shot on goal. Just happens to be that they got a quick defender who is sliding in, and your leg ends up between his. I think by no fault of anyone. That's just how it landed, unfortunately. But I don't know. I'm interested to see the timeline we hear about his return. Ornstein said a couple months.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like like Arteta speak couple months would be like 6. So
right.
I don't know. I'd imagine if it's leg or ankle break, I guess
it's fibula. It's fibula, which is the non-weight bearing bone in the leg.
Okay,
so
that's probably a positive.
It's promising. I don't think there's any ligament damage, which is crazy. To honestly, bone break might be the best case scenario here.
Could be. Yeah.
No ACL. I mean, ACL's a year, so we wouldn't see him play until at least the start of next season. So I'm not saying this was the most fortunate injury he could have gotten. It's just the fact he scores on it, the fact that like things are kind of moving in the right direction for the team, and then he goes and breaks his leg. It's like, that's crazy. Just crazy unfortunate. But moving on from that, Ekitike got his goal, jumping over Romero, giving him a slight shove in the back. I don't think there was too much in that. There was a push, but come on. How much of that do we see every day? And Romero tried to sell it. He did a decent job. He almost oversold it. And
I think it reminds me of, I think it was against Newcastle. I think Joelinton kind of does that same little push on Gabriel, and Gabriel goes down, and it's literally just one of those situations where that defender knows that push is coming, is looking for it, but really you just need to be stronger. You need to stand up, defend that ball, right? That's your surefire way of cleaning up that situation rather than hoping for a penalty.
Right. And of course it's Romero, which we're going to speak on very shortly here. Things got weird, Chad, when Richarlison scored his goal. Okay. Very weird.
Always does with that guy.
The shirt didn't come off, which was unexpected.
That's good. Yeah.
But for some reason, he goes to retrieve the ball, which was at that point almost moving up the field. He trips over Ekitike, grabs his neck and shoves him into the ground. It wasn't the heaviest of shoves, but he did do it. He did purposely do it and like put weight on him to then lift himself up. Wild sequence there. Dom confronts him. Dom gets the yellow card out of it. Out of all players, it's like Dom didn't even do anything. He just like looked at him.
I'd even say confront is too strong of a word.
He just said like, "What was that?" It looked like he probably said, "What was that?" And then the ref, for some reason, gave Dom the card. And then in this final 10 minutes, Chad, Tottenham touched the ball way too much. Okay, way too much. And then they go down to 9 men when Romero decides to kick out at Konate, barely grazing his arm.
Yeah.
Made a meal out of it. But it was right in front of the ref. The ref saw him do it. He's like, dude, what are you doing? You can't do that. Like, he got the yellow. I don't know if you saw Chise's face when he got the yellow. It was very surprised. I think he wanted the straight red, but it wasn't that bad. Frimpong got a bloody lip. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we made 5 substitutions in the second half, and the 3 substitutions we had to take off. Isak came in as a sub, Frimpong came in as a sub, and I thought there was one more.
No, I think
maybe it was just those 2. Oh no, I thought Frimpong had to stay. Oh, he just had to stay. No, he did get subbed out. Yeah, okay, it was just those 2 then.
Yeah.
So like that was a bummer. And then just the final 10 was super stressful. I thought for sure Tottenham was going to find a goal there. It was crazy how much they were controlling kind of the game and still going for it. Allison made some great saves, right place, right time. I think Porro had a really 2 opportunities to put one on goal, and Allison was just in the right spot. For Tottenham going down to 9, that was still a very stressful game. I would rather not have our games go like that, especially if we're going to be up 2 men at the end. Like, how are we not controlling this game and settling things down? So yeah, that was a wild one.
Definitely. I kind of before the game, I kind of thought it would be. I thought it would sway Liverpool's way, but I thought it would be kind of a decent contest. I think, Tottenham, both players and manager, know they got to start putting in some performances, especially at home. So I thought they would come out kind of charged up, I guess, and I guess maybe they did, and that's why they were so physical and too much so, and just kind of took it too far.
The Bentancur tackle on Kirkes.
Yes,
dude, what was that? That should have been red.
Yeah.
He wasn't even watching the ball. He was watching. His eyes were on Kirkes when he was going to shoulder. He just straight checked him in the chest.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That was probably the craziest thing in the game as far as tackling goes. I couldn't believe that.
So it just, I think it's one of those of maybe Frank told him that go out there, be physical, and kind of put Liverpool off their game. Unfortunately, he didn't tell them to put a limit on that.
There's no way Thomas Frank is happy. Not so much. He did complain about the officials a little bit, but come on, man, your team was sloppy. They were reckless, out of control, had no real mentality into this game to I don't know, to just be go-getters. It's interesting, this team without James Maddison. I don't know where he's at these days, but he was clearly a pretty good leader for this team, and I feel like he's missed. They're missing that guy on the pitch again. Who is their guy? And if it's Romero, that's the wrong choice.
Yeah, I get people like a spicy defender that'll get into those challenges and tackles, but it has to be that defender that knows how to kind of walk that line and not get a stupid red card. And unfortunately, Romero's track record
is notorious for it.
Plenty of red cards. So definitely can't be him. I think Maddison was kind of that guy. While maybe the goals didn't necessarily come from what he was creating, he was still creating a lot. And I know Simmons was brought in to do that, and it hasn't exactly worked out, but I think that's more just actual team structure issue anyway. But I don't know. I feel like the lineup here was weird anyway. We're Palhinha fans, and I feel like this is a game that Palhinha should have been in, right? I know him and Bentancur next to each other doesn't necessarily work, but I think I'd take Polinia's defensive stability over
Well,
Bentancur's like kind of box to box play.
and the mindset. I mean, we saw
Oh yeah,
Ben Decor
yeah,
has been in the news within the last year of stuff you wouldn't like to see, and then to just see him be out of control in this game too at the end, just so it shows he can lose his mental too fast. Polina is so level-headed. I don't know if we've ever seen Polina like angry. I mean, I've watched a lot of him. Big fan. It's just I was shocked he didn't get into this game when Siemens went off. I thought that was the moment. I was like,
yeah.
okay. I was like, he's gonna come in right
Absolutely,
now, and
yeah.
they're gonna like kind of pack the bus type thing and be defensive. And I guess kudos to them for still keeping the attacking threat on. Bergvall, I like Bergvall a lot. I think if there was if he was 10 years older, captain material
Yeah.
for sure. He's just 19, so that's not going to happen yet. But that's a gem I think Tottenham has, and I'm getting like Luka Modric vibes that someone's just going to come in very soon and be like, we're not going to let him rot at Tottenham. We're going to take him and make something special out of him. That's the vibe I'm getting from him.
I think that's kind of the risk of this Tottenham era, right? Like your post Kane, post Son, you bought a lot of young players that at least looked promising, and some I think are, but you need to be able to kind of turn that, or at least like move the club forward in like a competitive way, so those players want to stay there and get minutes, but get like good minutes and get good minutes in Champions League, and not be easy to like have their head turned by a bigger club if they come in, right? Like I think Bergvall is a good example. I'd say was it Archie Gray or something like that?
He's nice too.
Same sort of thing. Like under Ainge, he was playing defense when that's not even really his position. So like, I get you got to do what you got to do to get minutes sometimes, but if I'm him, I don't know if I'm happy with that. and I don't know where he plays now necessarily, but I think it's just they got to find that balance of seniority and youth, and kind of like help these guys grow and just get better. Like right now, throwing all the young guys out there and they're just like playing is like maybe fun if it works, but I think you even see at Chelsea they do kind of the same thing, but on like a higher money scale. Like and it still doesn't necessarily work. It's taken a handful of years now and a lot of money spent to finally find a 11 that they're happy with and like actually click. And
Right.
Tottenham doesn't have those kind of funds or that time that they give a manager to do that.
They got their work cut out for him. That's for sure. 14th in the table for Tottenham. I don't see them moving up very much. I honestly, with what they've got and what they're showing, and I'm good with it. They can stay there and kind of figure their stuff out. I think Frank just needs to overhaul that. They can't give up on Frank. I've seen the rumors. I've seen the stats comparing him to Ainge. I'm just like, geez, man, like, this is a long tenured manager. You look what he's done with Brentford without the funds. Like, let him cook. Give him some time. But we'll see, dude.
Yeah.
I think fans are going to be reckless. I think the board is going to be impatient. It wouldn't shock me if Frank gets let go. If they fall, I mean, they're sitting, 14th right now at 22. If they lose next week and Leeds win, Bournemouth wins, they're going to go to 17th, 16th, 17th. So it's not the prettiest. Yeah. It's not the prettiest.
No, absolutely not. But I think, it will take the fan base to just kind of understand, I guess, of like where the club is right now. And this is not even a dig at Tottenham. It's just, this is where you're at, right? You've been in this like starting a rebuild phase for years, and just no one has the time to do anything. So now you ended up with players that work for multiple manager systems, but don't work for like one guy's system. So it's gonna take time. You're gonna have to clear out some players, bring in some players. I think find that balance of, seniority in there. And I think, Frank is probably a good one to build with, because I think he's adaptable enough that, he'll put out a defensive team if he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
He'll find, the attacking threats when he needs to. It's not like, all pedal to the floor like Ainge was doing. Like, that was maybe fun to watch when it worked, but we all remember that game against Chelsea when you're getting red card after red card and you're still standing on the halfway line and letting Chelsea running behind you. So yeah, I think they're in a bad spot, but they almost like need to be in a bad spot and just start to work towards something better.
Yep. All right. Well, that was a good vent on what the hell that game. I mean, easily the game of the weekend and just how wild it was. But yeah, let's jump over to your team. Man, that was an interesting
we like to make
one.
it stressful these days.
Yeah, you're just eking out those goals any way you can.
It's not the most fun to watch in the moment.
It isn't.
But you come away with 3 points. That's all I can ask for at this time. But no, it's like, I think just a team that is trying to figure out some monkey on their back situation. Like, we're still creating a lot of chances. We had a decent amount of shots this game, just none of them really on target. I think still got to find Gyökeres a little bit better, get him a little bit better service. I think he can start to maybe step it up a little bit. I think Holland averages about 4 shots a game, and Gyökeres is at 2. I wouldn't say they're all too dissimilar in how they like to receive the ball. And let's be honest, Martin Odegaard knows how Holland likes it from Norway. So just bring that into Arsenal with Gyökeres, and it should kind of find its way a little bit better than it is now. Hopefully, at least. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say about the actual gameplay here, because it was just... It was... Arsenal, I'd say, controlled for the most part, but it never felt secure.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree with that. It was close to a snooze fest for me. I think the O'Brien handball was a new tactic we're seeing defenders do now, to act like they're getting pushed, so they're throwing their arms up in the air. So far, we're 0 for 2.
0 for 2 on that one, yeah.
So I don't know who's going to be next, but we're watching for it. Curious to see who keeps trying it. That one was terrible. I mean, Virgil's looked like he was literally trying to stop play. This one, it didn't look like he was trying to purposely hit the ball with his hands. He just decided to jump up with both hands.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys are thinking. Like, you've gone your whole football career and you've probably never done that.
Why? It was fascinating to see it happen in real time, and
yeah.
It just made me question, why? Made me question, what's good about this? What is the I understand it could look like you're trying to get fouled, but you don't have to do that with your arms straight up.
Yeah, I think that's the intent of oh, I'm gonna jump up, but then I got pushed or whatever, so now my balance is off, and that's why my arms went up or something. But
that's why my arms are straight to the sky.
Yeah, I think it takes a very specific situation for that to happen, especially under the slow-mo that VAR is going to look at it with.
I hope behind the scenes they're what is he doing? Clear and obvious handball.
I hope they Liverpool after Van Dijk's and Everton now after this one, next training day they're just replaying that and bro, what are you doing? You got to shame him a little bit.
I hope they're laughing about it now. Liverpool at this point, since their season is kind of flipped back on the good side, they can laugh about it. I don't know if Everton's going to really be laughing about that one. I mean, they were even. This game was pretty even. I don't think Everton would have been too upset with a draw against Arsenal here. It was.
No, absolutely not.
It was at banging PK. Absolutely smoked it.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, I'm glad he took it too. I wasn't sure who was going to take it. I saw
Mhm.
Odegaard with the ball. I was like, Saka's probably going to take it.
Yeah.
Is Arsenal like changing PK takers?
Um, I don't know. I mean, Saka's typically our PK taker. But I I think this might be more of a confidence boost kind of
Yeah,
vibe. Like they did that before with Kai Havertz. Gave him one of the PKs, and just to try and get some confidence and hopefully get their scoring boots on and get that going. Um, but yeah, I think Saka's probably your number one still. But this could also just be, Pickford's come up against Saka not only in the league but in England training, whatever. So here's
right.
Gyökeres, where you don't really know which way he's going necessarily. Um,
Hmm.
so it could be some of that mind game stuff too. But yeah, I think, look, great to have options out there, right, and be able to trust a few people to take a good PK and you know score it. So I'll be interested to see the next PK and who takes it. I think
Yeah,
it'll
me
probably
too.
be Saka again, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy for the 3 points. I think I'm gonna say, like I said last week, of if Arsenal can make it through this period, stop getting so many injuries, and get the team back, I think it's going to be pretty smooth sailing. There's been a lot of defensive kind of shake up in the back with some injuries and some of the rotation, and it's resulted in just not the secure defensive line that we've been used to, and even a handful of like 90 plus minute goals across the past like 6 games or whatever. So certainly some things to work out there, but I think as long as we can get through this, get Gabrielle back, kind of get that starting back line together again, I think this team will be okay. Like I said, still creating a lot of chances, just not really converting them,
Hmm.
which is one of those. I think it's almost like a fingers crossed, like if we keep creating, the goals will come kind of
Mm.
vibe. Hopefully,
Yeah.
because I mean, I'd love to go into these games of Everton, Wolves, whatever, and blow them out. Like that would feel great. I just don't know if this Arsenal team is like set up to do that. I guess it sounds kind of crazy when you like see the players that are out there, but um, it almost feels like it's going to be, if there's a championship win at the end of this, it's like a championship won on defense. You know?
You guys are pacing yourselves, right? It was what 3 or 4 years ago when it felt like Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard were sprinting every
Oh
single
yeah,
ball, and
yeah,
goals were happening. Right, each of them had more than 10, I think, that season.
yeah.
Um, and now it's very reserved. Right, we go
Hmm.
up, we relax, we play calm, calm. I'll say calmish. Can get a little
Hmm.
hectic out there. But I mean, you're top of the table. You just have City breathing on your back right now,
Yeah,
and Villa. They're still
yeah,
there.
yeah.
They're
They're right there too.
it's crazy where they're at. I just don't know how much longer they're gonna hang on for, just because they are just so all over the
Yeah,
place too. Just a fascinating team and a fascinating story. Um, but yeah, I think Arsenal should just be happy they get the win and move on to the next one and learn from this game that they have over 13 shots but 2 on target.
yeah, yeah. 13 shots, 2 on target. Kept Everton to 2 shots with none on target. So like
Great.
that defense is still working. If anything, this is probably one of the better defensive games in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. It's there. It would be better if scoring was coming a little bit easier, just to alleviate some pressure earlier. Um, but it is what it is. I'll take the 3 points. But yeah, I mean, I do got to shout out Declan Rice. That guy's just been an animal. I'm trying to look at his heat map real quick, but yeah, he's pretty much all over the place. Depending where you look, he had anywhere from like 110 to 120 touches, which pretty much led the team. I think Encapié was right around 100 as well. But man, that guy just keeps running, and always like seems to pop up where you want him to. And his price tag feels like a steal at this point. And I'm sorry, West Ham. I know you didn't really get a good return on your money for that, but thanks.
Yeah, again, West Ham just feels like it's one of those teams. If they would have kept on to some of their talent that they sold off in the last couple of years, what they would look like now, and Rice is a focal point of what could have been.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And now they're probably going to get relegated. It was 2 years ago they were in top 6, top 7?
Maybe two or three.
2003, 2004. They were 9th last year. Yeah, it was not that long ago. They were definitely in Europe. I mean, they won the
Europa
Conference League. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how far they have fallen.
Yeah.
And they continue to do so this past weekend. I believed for about 15 minutes that they could do it against City.
That's pretty good.
About 15, and then City just scored 1, scored 2, and I said, "Yep, that's done. We're moving on here." And I think after that, I put on the Sunderland game, just as background. But dang it, man, I need City to slow down just a little.
Yeah, I can only hope that they started this run too early, and that they'll tire out soon. But I mean, yeah, it looks like they're. I mean, we said it last week. They're well in their stride of just putting away games and moving on to the next one. Like no drama, basically.
Shutting teams out. The last team to score against them in the Premier League was Fulham on December 2nd. Now, that game was insane. It was 5-4. But they've shut out West Ham. They shut out Brentford. They shut out Crystal Palace. They've shut out Sunderland. So things are looking pretty good for them. Again, Haaland is just on a scoring mission. After him, the goal tally drops off quite a bit. But only a few teams have really put Haaland in their pocket. And I don't know, man. As we get
kind of interesting, like I felt like his first season, it was more like this, where no one really knew how to handle him. But then I felt like over the past couple seasons, people kind of got a hold of him or figured out how to at least put him off a little bit. And then now it seems like we're back to just like, oh, he's going to run past me and he's going to get that ball. Yeah, of course he is. He's quick. Like we've seen him do this time and again. I don't know what happened where no one remembers how to guard him anymore. I don't feel like he's doing anything different.
There's nothing different. I don't think so either. There's no different people are feeding him the ball.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that ball's going to him. So
right. Yeah, I think City. Gosh, when's the next So I hope Sunderland really can test City. Mm-hmm. I hope Chelsea can test City, but after that, man, City's going to go on a tear and basically have a pretty nice schedule up until the Liverpool game on February 8th.
Now, hang on. You passed up February 1st. They got to play Tottenham. We know they're not good against Tottenham.
That is true. Did Tottenham beat them this year? They did, right?
So, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think they did.
I think so. That was pretty early on, I think.
Yeah, 2-0. August 23rd. It's crazy. It's crazy how that's even possible. Paulinho with the banger goal. That's right.
Yes.
And shutting City out, that's a big deal. But yeah, I mean, this is just another year of City being here and lingering, and
Yeah.
it's on my
And
Christmas
now we
list.
got same. But now we got the rumors of Semenyo wanting to go to City.
Why?
Um,
It's the Pep effect, isn't it?
but see, here's my thing is Pep has kind of had his foot out the door for the past couple seasons, right? It's always been like, yeah, I might be done. Got a divorce, scratching my head, going crazy. And what they got him to sign an extension, but then a lot of the signings they brought in, to me at least, felt very much of like a post Pep era signing of setting the team up so it's not a bunch of old players or a team that's so ingrained in Pep tactics. But um, I get the allure of City in that you go there, you're probably winning some trophies. You're certainly playing in Champions League and going up against the best teams in Europe. But as a Semenyo, I think just going off the three teams typically I've seen listed are City, United, and Liverpool. Tottenham is in there barely, I guess, but I don't think he'd choose Tottenham. That's, if anything, a sideways move. um, but of those, like, I don't think you'd go United right now just because they've been so up and down and don't exactly like play with a winger like Semenyo is. Um, City, I mean, you could get playtime, or you're gonna get the Jack Grealish treatment where it's like you used to play kind of how you wanted in freely, but now you're under Pep and I need to mold you, and
Yep.
you're not going to be that same player. So of the three big, rumored teams, I'd say Liverpool looks like your best bet to like actually play the way you want to play. And I don't know, maybe we talk about Salah replacement. That might be a replacement for Salah, but he's a left winger. He's on a right wing. That could be okay.
Logically, it makes the most sense. And it'd be really nice to bring in I think he's 25. So,
Yeah, something like that.
so he fits into the timeline kind of everyone else. And to like, sure, maybe not this year or the next year we're going to be, the best team, which is hard to say because we already were. But it's like we're like redeveloping the team again, right? It's going to be like Slots era now. Like, if we could bring him in this year, next year is like a true feeler year. Like, I wouldn't be shocked next year if we get like second, and it's an outstanding season. We barely lose, and one team is just better than us. But then like by that third season, with everyone pretty locked in, I feel like that's going to be the key season. And then after that, a sell off is probably going to happen. I see so many of our players with like the Real Madrid calling, like Szoboszlai is going to play for Real Madrid at some point. Wirtz is going to play for Bayern Munich at some point, right? It's just like, it's just inevitable that we're going to have this window of like opportunity, and then we're going to get all these buyers to come in and take all these players again, and then we're going to do it all over again. If we can get a Semenyo now and build him up with Salah for this next year, and maybe Salah has a good second half and he stays, because we have him for a 2-year deal. He comes back next year too, the send-off year, because I think that is what we have to lean into now. I think we should all, as a fan base and a player, come to that agreement that if it's not this year, it's for sure next year, and then that's it. I think that's the route we should take. And it's not a bad one. It's just, that's just what I think just needs to happen. It's like a bittersweet breakup, right? Mm-hmm. This last season, if it would have happened, it would have been almost like a what could have been breakup.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now we're here and we're going, okay, this is it. Like, it's time, which is just like, it's crazy. It's crazy we're saying that, but it's true. It's like, I think everyone kind of sees the writing on the wall, and it's the next era. I mean, Salah and Virgil and Alisson are like the three remaining pillars of Klopp's era. And Slot wants to make this team, and I think Semenyo would fit in perfectly. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I'm being realistic. I don't think it's going to happen. So
yeah, I don't think it'll happen either. And
Which
I mean, if you're Bournemouth, I think you gotta do all you can to at least keep him to the end of the season.
Bournemouth's starting to fall apart now.
They are falling apart, so they're not, making good showing of themselves for this. But I just worry about, even though Semenyo's kind of cooled off a bit compared to the start of the season, to lose a player of his quality, I think it'll be hard to replace like for like in the winter. I think you can't lose him mid-season, and especially not the City. Come on, if you wanted to ship him out of the league, then freaking do it in the winter. But don't
Bring the
reinforce
City,
City.
please.
Yeah.
If Bournemouth gets rid of Semenyo, this team's in trouble. He's their only goal scoring like threat as a winger.
Yeah.
Travanir is a good player too. Elvin Nilsson isn't ready yet, and then it's just nobody else. So, I mean, this Bournemouth team, man, they started so strong in the beginning. I think my prediction had them top 4, or at least top. It was in the top somewhere, at least top 8.
Yeah.
And now to see them where they are, just is kind of, I don't know. I'm slightly disappointed, but I kind of get it because he lost a lot this summer.
Yeah, it was I think a surprise of how well they started. Like they basically lost their entire defense and keeper, right? Like it was all new back there, but it just seemed to click immediately. And then Semenyo was playing great, and I mean, look, he's still third highest goal scorer in the league with 8 goals.
Yeah,
so he's still a talent, and I think he'll continue to have a good season. I think Bournemouth just maybe was getting a little bit too into that, like, almost like underdog mentality of like, we're gonna go out and take it to every single team. I think they maybe need to take a step back and play a little bit more controlled game from time to time, and just like wear down the opponent sometimes.
Yeah, Bournemouth. Hope they figure it out soon.
Yeah.
Another surprise scoreline: Leeds 4-1 against Palace.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, not at all.
Leeds has found a little hot streak here with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. A little comeback tour. They really brought it against Liverpool a couple weeks ago. That was like, I mean, they broke Liverpool, honestly. Made us rethink everything.
Yeah.
And then to put up 4 against Palace, and Palace has kind of been a defense first type of team, right? I can't even tell you last time Palace let in, I guess, 3 goals against City, but after that, man, they've been pretty stable. Teams aren't usually doing this to them. For Leeds to do it out of all teams definitely caught me off guard.
Yeah, I think Leeds, I think it is, I guess, finding a little bit of a streak, but I think really just their home crowd, I think it is really good about staying behind the team and gassing them up a little bit. And Palace has been kind of shaky in the past few weeks, so
yeah,
I think they're down Munoz, who not their primary creator, but certainly a credible threat on that wing back. And,
super important
to lose him. And I mean, Mitchell's at the other side, and he's still good, but I just think that now that balance is probably thrown off a little bit, and they got to figure that out. But
and Chris Richards just went down.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know how long, but he was stretchered off. So not good. Yeah. I mean, but hey, cool for Leeds. I'm down for one of the newly promoted teams and fight and stay up here. If we can get Sunderland and Leeds to stay up, I mean, you deserve it more than West Ham and the Wolves.
Absolutely.
So goodbye us. Chelsea and Newcastle, yeah, that was the game. I watched the last half hour because I was the early morning game and I was kind of up, and Chelsea just scrambling to get back into it. And then it was just too late. Not enough time to really, fight all the way back. Sunderland, Brighton, kind of just two teams just content with a draw, it seemed like. I think Sunderland wanted it a little bit, but again, they've been kind of just doing this, right? They're kind of cool with the draws. They're just kind of just keep racking up points. As long as it's not a loss, they're happy.
I think that's kind of what they're just going for now. Like,
yep.
I kind of expected them to maybe get the win here, just because kind of Brighton, the same as Palace, has been so like up and down. But it almost feels like Sunderland kind of feels out a game, and then at a certain point is like, okay, yeah, let's just protect the draw. If a goal happens, cool, but as long as we're not really dropping points, as in losing, then we're good. I mean, you're still sitting sixth. You're still, you get one win and you could be up into fourth again, right? So it's a good spot to be. You take a draw away from home, move on.
They're playing it safe. Nothing wrong with playing it safe for the team that you are, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Snooze Fest on Monday, Fulham Forest. Felt like a total of 2 shots in that game. And then Villa, of course, beating Man United, and Fernandez going out for a couple weeks. I thought it was going to be far worse, right? You said January 7th was the return.
Yeah. Potential, yeah. So, we'll kind of see what this United team looks like without him. I think it'll be a less creative team, I guess.
I quote ESPN, a massive blow.
It certainly is. I mean, as much as Bruno gets some stick for being what he is and who he is, he does leave it all out there and really does want the best for that team, and you can see it take its toll sometimes. So we'll see if anyone can kind of step into that role, and maybe Mainu steps in now, right? There's an open spot.
Time to shine. Send Bruno F to Saudi, and this is your team.
That's it.
Could happen.
Yeah.
All right. Should we get out our list we made for Santa?
Absolutely.
All right. So we got we're asking Santa Claus for 5 things that we would like for Christmas. Figure we do this list for Santa, and then we go into the New Year's and do a New Year's resolution. Keep it festive. All right, I got my list. You got yours?
I got it.
I kind of have a numerical order. I try to do it like least to most wanted items. So I'll start with my least wanted. Isak plays again this season. I think it would be huge for him. I think it'd be huge for Liverpool. Not only to play, but if he scores a goal, I think at some point in this season, I think that would just be like, okay, like he still has it. He can, like, this injury, as bad as it was, if he can come back and score a goal here, we'll be okay in the future. Like, we just have to throw this year, like, this is a wash, right? We know the internet trolls are going to be after us. Look out for his mental. Get him back. Get him in the rehab center. If he can find a way to play this season, amazing. If he doesn't, that's okay. But I'm hoping Santa can put that on my table.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hope at the very least he can start to, if not play, at least be involved in like significant training towards the end of the season. Yeah, you might miss the rest of this season. I don't know if it will be that bad, but going into a World Cup year, Sweden I think is in the playoff to qualify, so who knows if they'll make it through that, but you'd hate to see him miss out on the rest of the season plus the World Cup if Sweden goes in. So I think he should be back by then.
Premier Injuries has him back March 21st. I think
Okay.
that feels too soon. I think they gave the 3-month timeline for that recovery,
Yeah.
which is accurate. But if we know where we're gonna be in the season and Ikatike is popping off, that's
Yeah.
not a real timeline. It's gonna be changed.
No, yeah. I think they'll probably, as long as Ekatike and the rest of the team is, scoring goals and performing well, I think Liverpool will be smart and take their time to get him back. Like
Yep.
if you don't need to rush it, obviously don't. And I think the player might say a little bit of the same thing. Like, yes, would want to get the match fitness and everything, but would also potentially have an eye on the World Cup if
Right.
Sweden goes through. So
Fingers crossed.
I like that. I like that.
Yep. What you got?
Um, Look, I'm going to start easy. Mine's not necessarily least to worst or 1 through 5 or anything. My first one is just find a Gyökeres run. Anyone on that team. I don't want to point a finger at Martin, but like someone on that team, just see that guy make a run and just pass him the ball, and let's just see what happens.
Simple.
Yeah, I think it could work. It's crazy, but
You're that desperate for that run, huh?
I think so. I mean, I watched the highlights again of this game, and I watched some like tactical review of it and stuff, and like he is making the runs still. He's getting into decent positions, but he's either just not passed to, or the pass is just a little bit like to a side that's not really in the zone that he would probably want it in, which may very well be down to coaching and how Arteta wants it, and is just using Gyökeres to push back that defensive line, which I would not be surprised, because you're trying to get that ball to Saka or Martinelli or Trossard, whoever. But I think we can also sometimes just straight through ball it to Gyökeres when he starts that run. Let's see what happens. Maybe catch a team off guard a little bit.
I like it. I'm gonna start looking for that a little more.
Yeah.
Next one on my list, which you might have on yours, or at least a variation of it. Sunderland is top 6 this year.
Top 6.
Top
Okay.
6. I mean, they're 6 right now, so if they can hold on to that spot, which I think they're fully capable of doing it. It's just don't get complacent. Right, end of the season's here. It's like if you're 8th, 9th, are you okay with that, or do you want to make a push for that top 6? That's the one thing that and they're a safe team, right? They're trying to play it safe.
Yeah.
But at that point, if you're not getting relegated, like let's go for it. I think right now they still have that fear that they could fall apart at any point, and so they're racking up the draws.
Yeah, I mean, my variation was just finish top half of the table.
Nice. Okay.
Which I think is, I mean, I'd agree top 6 is feasible, and top half of the table is even more accessible to them if they continue to play how they are, and just kind of like stay focused, I guess.
Hey, I'm asking Santa here, man. These don't need to be that realistic.
That's
come
fair.
on, Santa, give me what I want.
I got one that's a little bit of a dream.
Okay, let's hear it. I want to hear it. What can Santa bring to you?
Okay. January 24th. Man City and Wolves. Wolves are going to win. And it's going to be the deciding game in their title challenge.
Whoa.
So they'll be close throughout the rest of the season, but it's just that one loss to Wolves.
They've done it before.
Come on, Santa, please.
They did it last year. When the Wolves beat City last year, it was like, knew you could do it. And maybe Jose Sa has one last gasp of air that he could do something special with. I like it.
Please.
My next one here is Liverpool spends money this winter. We spent a lot of money in the summer. Obviously, those picks weren't the best for what we needed at the moment, so now we got to spend a little more. Let's go get that extra winger. Let's, more importantly, go get that defender we desperately need. So, simple wish, but I think Santa can help deliver it.
Yeah, I think, I mean, look, they was already looking at Guehi in the summer, and it just kind of didn't happen. Too late, whatever. So I think obviously that money's there. Unfortunately, mid-season you will pay more than you probably wanted to for Guehi or any other player. But yeah, I'd be very surprised if they go through winter without signing a defender. That's crazy.
Priority one. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna say just this one is maybe more like immediate gift I need from Santa. I just need Arsenal players to convert their chances. It's time. We've seen the passing, we've seen the creative aspect of so many players. We're getting shots off, just not on target. And it's time to right that wrong, and Santa's got to come down with his sleigh. Maybe park it in front of the goal and just like teach them to shoot around it and the reindeer, and we'll top bins for the rest of the season.
Comet Blitzen, Donner Blitzen. Must be doing that as
exactly.
a runner. Now I just imagine every time Arsenal scores a goal, you're like, "Thank you, Santa."
Santa.
Okay. Next one on my list. Easy, simple. City doesn't win the title. Santa.
Yeah.
Come on. We've had it happen plenty of times in the past. We don't need another one. It's that. When like Santa brings you socks, it's like that. I don't need more socks, Santa.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it kind of goes in line with mine, but we've seen this City team already. I know there's some new faces on there, but it's more or less the same. Like, if they want to win another title, let's have it be without Pep, and let's just see if someone else can do the same. Right?
Yeah, I want new era City to do something.
Yeah.
Once Pep leaves, I'll be a little bit more not inclined for them to win the title, but at least like, okay, it wasn't all Pep. It was a lot of money spent. It was the players. Right now, it feels like system built. I just don't want them to win it. Anyone else? Anyone?
Yeah.
I don't care. Anyone.
I have this didn't make my list, but it's like an honorable mention because we're talking City. I just want a resolution to their 115 charges.
Yeah, where'd that go?
That's all of a sudden out of conversation, and I think that was the plan. Just let it drag on until everyone forgets about it. And I think we need to hear some final verdict on this. Like, you can't just let that float and disappear. But we'll see. Maybe that's asking too much from Santa.
Santa can't get a hold of the records.
Yeah, right. Look, I didn't do the easy one of like Arsenal win the Premier League. I felt that was too easy. But my last wish, again, it was no specific order, but across the board, across the league, just no more significant injuries. I want I know Arsenal's been going through it, and a lot of teams have been going through it, but like, I want to see that Liverpool team with Isak and Ekitike out there. I want to see the Arsenal team I saw earlier where everyone was healthy, and even Tottenham. They've been waiting on Solanke to come back for it seems like years, and he's not even been there that long. Madison as well. So like, all these teams that could be so much more competitive are just hampered by injuries, and while it I think has made a interesting table, as some teams are able to take advantage of that, like I do just want to see it full as strong as we can keep these teams through the rest of the season, and just have it be a real fight to the end. Stressful for me if Arsenal is still on top and it's
sure
not a straightforward win, but I'll take it. I'll take that sacrifice for the entertainment of the league and the sport.
It's very wholesome of you, Chad. My last one, and I would say it is probably the most important one on my list. It's Mo ends the season happy. I think with all the effort and energy he's put in what feels like the last decade, for him to go out this season upset or to not have it be a beautiful end of the road would make me sad, considering how much happiness he's brought, not just the Liverpool team, but a huge population of the UK, Egypt, a community connection between two vastly different cultures. He's done so much for Liverpool and to put them on the map and to make him, I mean, if we look at his stats, he's one of the top 3 attackers we've had in the last decade, just under Ronaldo and Messi. When you go like stat for stat, he's right there with them. So yeah, I think you know, Mo's always smiling. We've seen him smile a lot his last few years, and this year at the beginning we knew smiling was going to be hard for the team, and I don't think we've smiled a whole lot lately, even with these wins. So a maybe not a championship ending. I mean, that would be wonderful too, but I think a happy ending is so due for him. So that's my biggest wish. Santa, I hope you deliver on that one. I think it can come true. I really do. I think it will.
I think so.
It'll take some time. It'll take some work to kind of, I think that relationship needs to be mended a little more, but we're on the right path. So,
I mean, look, Egypt had their first AFCON game yesterday. They won. Salah got a goal in there. So, you know, he's on the right step there. I think if he can come back and, you know, this Liverpool team is still in a good state like they kind of are now, and you know, if not better, I think that'll be something nice to come back to, rather than like going through that rough period of losing and then getting benched and the outbursts and all this sort of stuff. Like, that can all just be shoved under the rug at the end of this, and have a good AFCON, come back, finish out the season strong. You're going into a World Cup, so I think I think this can turn into a nice year and potential send-off for Salah.
And boy, if Egypt wins AFCON, you know vibes are going to be like,
oh yeah.
If Liverpool can have a great month and Egypt wins, man, second half of the season is going to get spicy. I feel like that could just totally snowball and have forward progress and momentum for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Chad, I think we nailed it here. Another banger of an episode. Love the list. We'll have to keep doing this. Busy weekend of games. One game on Boxing Day. Boo. Yeah. And then we'll see a list of games on the 27th. So until then.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
holidays.
Ho, ho, ho. I'll see you back here on New Year's. And with that, Hooligans Pitch, we're out. Peace, peace, peace. Ho, ho, ho.